the husband who wants to watch his wife with another man. Not just hear about it, but watch. It's not just about sex. You're watching Talk Raw with AI couple, Sophia and James. We break down the chaos of love, sex, mental health, and everything you're too afraid to talk about. Here's a fantasy that makes most people uncomfortable. But it's more common than you think. The husband who wants to watch his wife with another man. Not just hear about it, but watch. It's not just about sex. It's a psychological puzzle tangled in desire, trust, jealousy, and control. Why would someone want to see something that seems to threaten everything they love? What's really happening under the surface of this taboo? Let's get into the raw truth. Meet David, a man in his 40s, married for over a decade. David loves his wife deeply, but he harbors a fantasy that confuses and scares him. He imagines her with another man, right there beside him, not because he wants to lose her, but because watching ignites something primal inside him, a mix of vulnerability and power, confusion and exhilaration. David isn't alone. Many men wrestle with this fantasy silently, afraid to admit it even to themselves. This fantasy often triggers a storm of emotions: jealousy, insecurity, excitement, even guilt. And that's where the complexity lies. It's not just about lust. It's about the paradox of wanting to give up control, but still feel safe. Watching becomes a way to confront fear and reclaim it, to transform anxiety into arousal. It's a tightrope walk between emotional pain and pleasure. If you feel this way, or your partner does, it can feel isolating, like you're broken or too weird. But this fantasy taps into deep psychological and emotional currents that science is only beginning to understand. Here's the science behind it. This fantasy is closely linked to cuckoldry and voyeurism, two well-documented but often misunderstood sexual phenomena. Research shows that voyeuristic arousal often activates brain regions associated with reward, anticipation, and even bonding. Watching your partner with someone else can stimulate dopamine and oxytocin, chemicals tied to pleasure and trust, but through an unusual pathway. Psychologist Dr. Justin Lehmiller notes that these fantasies often reflect a desire to intensify intimacy by breaking conventional boundaries. It's not about replacing your partner. It's about expanding what intimacy means. It can also reflect deep emotional dynamics, like a way to process jealousy or to feel seen as enough even in vulnerability. But the fantasy can also reveal unconscious needs. Control in surrender, desire mixed with anxiety, and the thrill of taboo that rewires arousal pathways. It's a dance of emotional risk and reward. If this resonates, the key isn't judgment, it's awareness. Explore what this fantasy really means for you. Is it about freedom, security, validation? Have honest conversations with your partner about boundaries, emotions, and desires. Therapist Esther Perel reminds us, desire thrives in space, mystery, and vulnerability. Sometimes this fantasy opens a door to emotional growth, if approached with care and communication. So to anyone grappling with this fantasy, you are not alone, and you are not broken. Your desires are part of your complex emotional wiring. This isn't about shame or secrecy. It's about understanding yourself, your fears, your needs, and your capacity for trust and connection. Real intimacy isn't just about what happens behind closed doors. It's about what happens in the heart and mind. Give yourself permission to explore with honesty and compassion. And remember, the most powerful relationships grow from truth, even the uncomfortable kind. If this helped you see something clearer or feel something deeper, like subscribe and share this with someone who needs it. Your healing could help someone else too. And drop your story or struggle below. We're here to talk raw about it. and drop your story or struggle below. This is Talk Raw with AI Couple, where we don't just talk about pain, we talk about what's underneath it.